It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. Wednesday evening, September 20th. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. We're covering crude oil, S&P, Nasdaq, gold, and euro tonight. Crude is bullish, but a recent strong move lower tells me to look for sellers to try one more time. I'll be waiting for them to fail for buying opportunities back to monthly highs tomorrow. The S&P is bullish, but trading at the high of a V-bottom pattern isn't a very reliable spot to buy, so I'm looking to use the battle zone and seller failures to buy the pullback tomorrow. Nasdaq looks bearish at first, but the recent spike higher tells me to watch for the sellers to try and fail before looking for buying opportunities back to the highs. Gold is bearish with a big, strong spike in range, and my goal is to use a key reversal line overhead for selling opportunities back to the big round number tomorrow. And of course, we can't forget about the euro. The euro appears to be bearish at first glance, but looking at the bigger picture tells me this may be an excellent place to look for buying opportunities tomorrow. We're going to hash it all out in just a few moments. We survived the FOMC announcement this afternoon, and that big news event is giving us some big ranges and some big trading opportunities for Thursday's session, including a beautiful V-bottom pattern setting up as we speak. We're going to go over all the charts and put the plan together for tomorrow. Before we jump in, though, I do want to remind you the only place to watch the full-length version of this video is here on our blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, not to worry, there's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link. Come join me here on the blog at Sideways Markets and watch the full-length version. While you're here, don't forget, join the mailing list just above my ugly mug in the upper left-hand corner there. Give me your name and your email address, and I'll shoot you an email every evening when that nightly newsletter goes live. Follow me on social, lower left-hand corner. Pick whatever your flavor of choice. I'm always sending out important charts, links, and updates throughout the week. And speaking of charts, I'm glad you brought that up. Don't forget to grab the charts from tonight's video. That's right, all the charts I'm using in tonight's video, you can have them ready on your computer for tomorrow's session. Follow that link below the video in the lower left-hand corner. And don't forget to grab your free pass. If you're not a member here at School of Trade, what are you waiting for? You're going to learn more with me on that free pass than you will anywhere else on the interwebs. I can pretty much guarantee that. Grab that free pass in the upper right-hand corner. And if you have any questions, I'm always here. I know most websites are all about automated robots and autoresponders nowadays, right? But I do believe in high level of customer service for all of my customers. So want to make sure to give you guys, right, a live Q&A there. If you guys have any questions, I'm always there to help out. Let's not waste any time here. We got a big session and big opportunities setting up for tomorrow. We survived the FOMC announcement. Yeah, barely, right? Barely. It was a pretty wild ride this afternoon. I hope you guys followed the plan from yesterday and let that craziness come and go. Now that we got through the FOMC announcement, which pretty much dominated this entire week so far, now we can get back to business for Thursday and Friday's session. Now, starting off for tomorrow, Thursday, the 21st of the month, we have no major news in the overnight session. We're not going to worry about, right, any major news in the overnight session. And as your typical Thursday, we have a pretty much a standard Thursday. We got big news at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And guys, if you're brand new to the financial markets, every Thursday morning we get at least a little bit of news at 8:30 a.m. You can set your clock by it every Thursday morning. We get the Philly Fed survey and we get the jobless claims report tomorrow morning. Those are the big headline news tomorrow, right, in the morning session. We're going to be opening up our trade room at 8 o'clock Eastern time, so we'll put the plan together with all of our clients in the trade room. Outside of that, there really isn't a lot else to worry about. We got some small stuff here at 9 o'clock, 9:45, and 10 o'clock. You know, don't forget, 10 o'clock is always an active time of the morning. We call it a 10 o'clock shock, right? It's that top of the hour. What's really happening around 10 o'clock is you've got big hourly candles, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Well, that 10 o'clock hourly candle is the first hourly candle to close in the U.S. session, right, once the E-minis open up. So it's got a lot of volatility behind it. So 10 o'clock is always going to be, right, kind of a mover, right, whether or not we have any news there either way. So bottom line is no major news at 10 o'clock. We definitely expect to see the 10 o'clock shock tomorrow morning. And, of course, the big headline news is tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget, we'll be opening up our trade room tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I look forward to seeing you there with all the other advanced members. Let's jump into some charts here tonight. We got crude oil, S&P, We'll do a bit of Nasdaq, a little bit of gold, and of course we'll wrap up on the euro here this evening. Now make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end because we get some great charts and a great strategy setting up for tomorrow's session. Starting off tonight with crude oil. Crude oil is bullish with a multi-tier channel as the bulls try to retest the prior month high and push through to a measured move target tomorrow. The bulls have control even after this sharp move lower this afternoon. But we assume that anytime we see a strong move in one direction, right, the sellers are probably going to try to go lower at least once more, which is just what the buyers will be looking for. My plan for tomorrow is pretty simple. Look for sellers to try again, watching for those seller failures at the low of that channel and down in the battle zone for a move going back up to retest the high. If we don't see the sellers try again, if price just pushes higher, right, without pulling back for us, I got to focus on buying with traps, right, so I don't buy into that overhead prior week high, prior month high, right in the top of that channel. As you can see here, a bunch of different things on the chart here for tonight. The most important clue here is this bull channel. Little bit of a shaky way to start the session off. It was a bull spiking channel if you recall, when inventories report came out. Inventories came out right about there, and of course we get that beautiful two-legged pullback into that battle zone, right, and back up we go. That takes us higher. Now let's connect the dots. That creates the larger channel, and that gives us the overall structure for tomorrow's session. Anytime I see a channel, I'm always looking for rotation. Low to the high, high to the low, low to the high, high back to the low. And so we know right now the next objective is to go back up and retest the high. We're coming off of the low of the channel, right? So the next objective is back to the high. We can go straight to the high, but with this strong move we're seeing coming off of the FOMC announcement here this afternoon, I would expect sellers to try one more time. So we want to put the plan together. What if price goes higher and what if price goes lower? Like I said before, with that strong move down, you'll see a bunch of those right in tonight's newsletter. I am expecting to see these bears try once, try twice. If they fail on that second attempt, I'm looking for buying opportunities. Now, how do we want to do that? Well, first of all, we may get lucky and get a nice deep pullback into that battle zone tomorrow, right? I've got this trend line coming down overhead. Boy, I hope we get a chance to use that trend line. Bears try once, bears try twice. I'd love to get a chance, right, to buy off of that falling support trend line, right? It acts as resistance at first, right, but falling support trend line as well. Maybe we see something more dramatic. Maybe we see something like this, right? Strong move down, seller failure, right, into buyer break, pull back, and go, right? There'll be some great opportunities there. Buying that, test the trend line, buying the failure, buying the pullback, right? As long as we're nice and low, as long as those sellers try again and fail, I'm looking for that move going back up to retest the high. Now, the hard part's going to be, what if this price goes lower, right? We're going to see a V bottom on the chart coming up next, and this could possibly be another example of a V bottom. Whenever we have a V bottom pattern, strong move down, strong move back up, whenever we have a V bottom pattern, we're looking for opportunities to buy on the way back up to retest that high. The problem is once we get back to that high, and again, we're going to see a better example of this in a moment, right? I don't want to be buying up there. I want to be focused on looking for traps, or I want to get through it, right? And then we can go looking for what ends up being, right, a double up of that V bottom. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, so make sure you stay tuned, right, for the next chart. The bottom line is, if we do go higher here, we have to assume now, right, the buyers are just hunting for the top of that channel. They may even overshoot that channel and get to that measured move tomorrow. Those are the targets overhead. The problem is, right, I don't want to buy into these prior month highs, prior week highs, right? So that's going to kind of spoil the party here. I've really got to be careful buying as the price goes higher. So again, we talked about we want the price to go lower so I can buy the dip lower, right? Well, what if it doesn't, right? What if it goes higher here? If it just goes higher, now I have to be careful buying into that resistance. And anytime I find myself in a position where the only option in a bull market is to buy high, I always start looking for traps. So think of a situation, right, where price goes higher here, We're looking to get up to the top of that channel. We're looking to get up to that measured move, but I don't want to buy up there, right? So what we'll do is we'll find some prior swings. We'll look for that trap low, right? So we can buy back up. And that trap low may end up being a trap into a failure, into a pullback, right? I mean, there's so many different entry triggers we can use, right, for that move going back up to retest high. The key, though, is you always want to know who has control, the bulls do, where their objective is, right? The objective is back to that monthly high, right? Where are we now in relationship to that objective? I don't want to buy into the objective. I want to buy way down here, right? I want to buy down here. I don't want to be buying up here, right? So I want to focus on failures, focus on traps, right? Buying those dips if that market continues to push higher. Last but not least, how do we turn bearish tomorrow? What are the 3 rules for a trend reversal? Strength, pullback, strength, right? Strength, pullback, strength. Now remember, if that strength can't hold the pullback, this becomes a beautiful buying opportunity here for the bulls going back up to retest the high. So just seeing a strong move down isn't going to cut it. It's going to hold that pullback and then explode lower. If we do see it hold that pullback and explodes lower, then we start looking for a new bear channel, trap high, right, and sell back down. Obviously, this is not drawn to scale. Most important thing for tomorrow is strength to the downside, hold the pullback, right? Strength to the downside, hold the pullback, and continued strength from there. If we continue to see strength going through, then we know, again, draw that, right? Draw that channel down. That becomes your channel, right? And keep focused on selling, right? We'll sell the top of that channel. Again, that will be after the bears take control. The objective for the sellers, right? We get that big round number at 50, but I don't think that round number is going to be affecting us too badly any longer. You know, after we sit around $50 a barrel for a few days, we tend to start getting kind of, basically, when we first go back to the big round number, it becomes a magnet. We've been there for about a week now. We should start seeing price exploration right above and below. The real objective is down to this 49.73 to 49.68 area. That'll be the target for those bears tomorrow. And then who knows, right? We'll see what the day brings, right? But first, they have to take control first. So buy that dip. Expect those bears. Try one more time. Can they hold it? Right? Or will they fail and we go back up to retest the high? You guys have a great plan waiting for Thursday. Now, speaking of Thursday, I've got a beautiful V bottom here now on the S&P. S&P is bullish, right? V bottom pattern back in the original trading range where today's session started. The bull channel tells me to look for buying opportunities using traps and seller failures down in the battle zone. My big concern, though, is trying to buy up to new highs tomorrow. If price does push higher without pulling back first, my goal is to focus on traps so I don't get caught trying to buy into that range high or buy into that measured move resistance level waiting overhead. Now, here's the most important thing about a V bottom, right? This is where the term big drops equal big pops or vice versa, right? So strong move down, right? That strong move down, bears can't hold the pullback, right? We jump up and the buyers take control. Once those buyers take control, that's your cue right there. You're jumping on that, right, for the buying opportunity going back up into that range. Now, the problem is, right, we got a beautiful buying opportunity right around that big round number this afternoon. Most important thing now is look where we are. We're right back into the original range that we started with, right? In fact, you could look at this and say one try, two try, failure, and back in. It was all around the FOMC announcement, so hopefully you weren't gambling around that big news today. But the bottom line is, this V bottom, we are now literally right at the beginning of that V. And so what you want to remember is this is a place where buyers should be taking profit. On a V bottom, right? On a V bottom, when I see, let's see here. Let's draw it nice and small here. When I see a market run lower, right, and then fail and run back higher, I have to think now this is where that V started, and this is where we're likely going to see a lot of profit taking. Okay, so I don't want to be buying up here. I want to either buy the pullback and go from there, or I want to see it continue so I can buy the pullback from there. I really have to wait right? Really got to wait right now and kind of see what this thing wants to do. Now, the big deal for tomorrow is if we can push higher, you can actually take the size of that move lower and you can project it right into the future, right? We call it a double up. Take the amount of the move lower, and that can be used to project right back higher. So the amount that we move lower here, right, that is the carrot at the end of the stick, right, for those buyers, right? So take the amount of the move down, right, and double it up for the amount of the move higher. As you can see, right, that puts us in a very, very strong position here, right, up to new all-time highs tomorrow. We probably aren't going to get that big of a move going higher tomorrow. Boy, oh boy, we have covered a ton here this afternoon on our nightly newsletter. Hope you learned a bunch and hope you use it tomorrow to earn a bunch as well. Don't forget, being a trader on your own can take a lot of time and money, right, to do that the right way. It took me over 3.5 years and over $100,000 in losses before I finally started turning the corner in my career. And I want to invite you out, join our free trial, learn more about what it means to be a student here at School of Trade. Join the trade room on your free pass. Come out and join me as a beginner, intermediate, or advanced member. You can join the free trial on the home page of the website. You can learn more about our beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. And don't forget, I'm always here to help every step of the process. You don't have to do this on your own. We all have to pay our tuition to the market. It's a lot faster and a lot cheaper, right, to learn from somebody with experience. My name is Joseph. I plan on seeing you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time in the trade room. If I don't see you guys there tomorrow morning, we'll do it again, same time, same place, tomorrow night on our nightly newsletter. Thanks for joining once again. Don't forget to share this with a friend. Don't forget to send me some feedback to JJ at School of Trade, and don't forget to come out and see us tomorrow. I'll be out of here for now, guys. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here tomorrow. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.